When I transitioned 45 years ago, finding a way to obtain gender-affirming care required another trans person because the care we needed wasn't readily available through regular channels. Everything from obtaining hormones to a surgery required an introduction. For everything that's wrong with what I just said, there was something good about it. It strengthened our community, oddly enough. At the time, in New York City, there were only about 3 or 4 places that trans people were able to congregate in. That meant that we all knew each other, if not by name, by face. Everyone hung out in one of those spaces. Everyone from a baby trans person to a trans elder, all together in the same place. When somebody like Crisis or Kateria or Carmen would come up to you and give you advice, it felt so meaningful, so special. Girl, your hair is too light. If hair is too light or too dark, it makes you look hard. Hi, Mama, you're looking good. Do you want me to get in touch with Schiffman and see if he'll bump your nose for you? I remember it well. Oh, what a thrill. There was a point early in my transition where my ego got the best of me and I thought I was looking good and I was getting a lot of attention that I really began to misbehave. One of my idols pulled me aside and said, "Girl, you're the talk of the town." "Oh, really?" I replied, thinking that she was going to give me a compliment, and she looked at me and said, "For being a whore. You're being very messy, girl. No matter what these guys say to you, you can't be with another girl's boyfriend. The girls look out for each other. We need each other. Don't risk losing your trans sisters over a man. Behave." Whether you were at a hangout spot or at a ball, trans culture was lived and learned there. Before established medical protocols, we taught and learned from each other. It couldn't be more obvious, at least to us, that we knew more than the doctors. In my lifetime, medical protocols have changed at least 3 times that I recall. I'm also 100% sure that they'll change again. Listen to your doctor, but trust your body. It seems like when our little community was expanded to include more people, the trans elder definition went from meaning that somebody has lived a trans life for a long period of time to just being an old trans person. Now an old person could be on hormones for 2 years and call themselves a trans elder. Our very clearly defined culture seems to have lost some of that definition. Now, after 3 years of being on hormones, people consider themselves experts. Their opinion is the opinion that matters, and they don't want to hear anything from anyone else. Reminds me of the way that detransitioners speak about the trans experience as they know all about it. The only experience that they're experts in is their own. Super-surged dolls are now criticizing baby dolls instead of helping them. For the most part, gone are the days where trans people have huge trans friend groups. In fact, I heard a young trans person say, "Stay away from groups of trans women." They called them something like fishbowls. Trust and believe that's the worst advice you'll ever get. I believe that all of this has contributed to the rise of people like Lily Tino and Daviana. Those are the people that come to mind when people who aren't in our community are talking about trans people. It's tragic that they've become the faces of our community. When I was able to quit survival work because I found a job, which led to me becoming a vice president in one of America's largest corporations, I couldn't wait to begin to hire other trans people. It was the 90s and I made it my mission to hire Asian, Spanish, and Black trans people. I felt it was my obligation. I suppose that little talk that Monica gave me all those years before at the Snowball was effective. So effective that it shaped the way I treat other trans people for the rest of my life.